everybody. Welcome back to the Related Podcast. I am your host, Amanda Bybel, and today we are going to be diving into how to discover the type of coach you want to be, how to discover your niche, and how to really hone in on marketing yourself, monetizing yourself, and really honing in on something that I like to call your zone of sparkle. So when I first started my journey into the coaching world, I knew that creating my dream life was something that I always wanted to do. I literally could not imagine having to sit at my desk all day, every day, knowing in my heart of hearts that I was truly meant for so much more and to make an even bigger impact. So if you've been listening to the last couple of episodes, or if you just happen to land here today, you know that you are meant for so much more and you are meant for that big impact. Okay. If you are dreaming of it, then you are destined to make it real. So inside of today's episode, I want to talk about identifying your zone of sparkle, really honing in on your zone of genius, understanding the type of coach that you can be and how to truly monetize your passions, your missions, your talent, and understanding and discovering what the world needs from you so that you can truly magnify your message, amplify your voice, and become the most magnetic version of yourself that you could ever dream of. So this all stems back from a concept called ikigai. When I was a freshman in college, my freshman year, I was enrolled in a class called Making Sense of Life for Life. And I want to just do like a huge shout out to my freshman professor, because at the time, for someone to be teaching that sort of, I guess, class or whatever to a bunch of 18-year-old college students, he had to have so much patience, I'm sure. But I now look back like super fondly at, his name was Pedro, and I can just really give so much thanks to him, because this concept now, 100 billion years later, makes so much more sense. Okay. So I remember this concept he introduced to me, and it was called ikigai. But essentially what it really means is your life's purpose. Okay. So as an 18-year-old, my life's purpose at that time during the dark days of Amanda, and we've all heard the story about my dark days, was more about having fun and partying and finding the cute boys to, hang out with and all of the things. But now that I've truly discovered my life's mission and my life's purpose, I want to help you make sense out of your life so that you can show up as the youest you possible, the truest you possible, and really start to live the life beyond your wildest dreams. Because now when I talk about the concept of ikigai, it just hits different because I've been living it, breathing it, and it's been morphing into so much more as I, enter into like my 5th year of doing what I do. This is traditionally called ikigai, but I like to call it finding your zone of sparkle. And if you could just imagine like 4 Venn diagrams, like if you go like transport yourself back to like college or high school or elementary school or wherever, it's like 4 overlapping circles. And the 4 different topics that we're going to uncover today is that of which you love, so your passion, that which you are good at, so your talents, that which you can be paid for, so things that you can monetize, and the things in which the world needs. So this is essentially like your mission. Okay. So I want you to imagine these like 4 little circles. And at the very center where all 4 circles overlap, this is your zone of sparkle. So this is where we're going to identify the type of coach that you can be, the type of niche that you can stand out in, and how to really balance all of the things. Because, if you just go after something you're passionate about and there's not really a need for it, then you're going to be considered something that I heard the term for, like the broke artist, where you're just following the passion, but there's literally nothing that you can monetize with it. Or if you're just going after the money, then you're going to end up being that broken soul and the person who is just like this burnt out, stressed out version of yourself because you're not doing anything that you love. So this intersection between your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession, that little teeny tiny center, that's what we're going for in today's episode. So the first step in identifying the type of coach that you want to be or your zone of sparkle is to think about the first question here is, what are you most passionate about? So what is something that you can legit talk about all day long? So I have luckily and amazingly, and I'm so grateful for it, that I've created a business where I legit get to talk about coaching and NLP and, living the life beyond my wildest dreams and manifestation literally all day. And on top of that, I get to help my students do the same thing. So I get to hold space for clients to discover their passions, to discover their talents, their missions, what they can be paid for. And I get paid for it. It is the best thing ever. It lights me up, and I can do this from anywhere in the entire world. So ultimately, I'm living this life of freedom in every sense of the word. So this is also, of course, possible for you too. So I want you to think about, what are you most passionate about? So what would you love to research and talk about and keep talking about and keep learning about all day, every single day? For me, I knew I always loved helping people. And that is one of the prerequisites of being an incredible coach, is you just want to help people. And people are naturally drawn to you because you are like the person who gives the best advice, or you are great at pep talking, or you're always that ear to listen. But for me, I knew I helped women turn their dreams into goals and their passions into a business. And I'm literally obsessed. It is the funnest job ever. And I'm so good at what I do that it just fuels that fire even more because I love what I'm doing. So ask yourself, what is something that you can legit talk about all day long? And I want you to think about maybe something you are always naturally drawn to. So maybe you can think about like the type of Instagram accounts you're always looking at, or the type of YouTube videos you're always watching, or the type of books you're reading, or the types of things that you really, really, really love to learn about. So when you focus on the passions, we can start to go a little bit deeper. So the important thing here is to always go through the next steps as well, because if we only go after what we're passionate about, we want to make sure that there is a need for this. Okay. So step number 2 is take a look at your talents. What are you really, really good at? Like so good at. Like maybe it's a hidden talent, maybe it's a not so hidden talent, but why are people naturally drawn to you? What type of guidance are you able to give powerfully? Like all of the freaking time. When I first started my coaching journey, I noticed that people were always coming to me for career advice and advice about their resumes. So I don't know if any of you guys have been following me for like that long or whatever, if you're new to my space or whatever. But a couple of years ago, before I even started my coaching journey, I had a resume business. I was always helping people write their resume, and I loved helping people so much that it just felt so natural to me. And I was also really talented, and I still am, at writing. So like, my amazing emails that you guys probably get, you can sign up for my email list. You can click the links below in the description box to get on that. I love blog posting, all of the things, but I really, really loved helping people so much. And I loved helping people see themselves in their highest potential. So naturally, because I was always looking for the next best job and I was chasing salary promotions and title increases and all of the things, people were naturally coming to me to help them with their resumes because I was helping them rewrite their stories on paper. I was also helping them see themselves in their highest potential. And they saw that I was always getting the jobs that I had applied for. So they wanted the help from me. So I realized I was really, really good at this. And ultimately, it was something that I could be paid for, which is step number 3. But before we move on to step number 3, I want you to ask yourself this question. What are some things that people are naturally drawn to you for? Is there something that you're always being complimented on? Oh my gosh, you give the best advice on this. Or, I always like to talk to you about this specific topic. Or maybe you're like a super spiritual guru and people are always like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can talk to you about all the things, angel numbers, or if I ever have a question about, tarot cards, or if I ever have a question about like what this sign means, or if I saw a feather, what does that mean? Or, all of these things, like maybe that's something to really look into. So step number 3 is, what can you be paid for? So what kinds of things do you think that you can be paid for, given everything that we just talked about, your passions and your talents? So I told you how I really, really loved personal development. I really, really loved giving career advice and listening to problems and coming up with solutions. So naturally, I was really, really good at resume writing and career coaching. So if you find yourself like really drawn to truly helping people, then coaching is going to be a very natural next step for you. So because I was really great at resume writing and really great at career coaching, this is how I started. And I charged money for it. So it just felt so good being able to do something that I truly loved, all wrapped up and tied with like a happy little bow. So obviously now my career has evolved and I'm incorporating all the things that I love and that I'm good at. And it's literally at a whole nother level, but it's taken time to get here. And that is possible for you too. So I want you to think about some of the things that you're currently doing or that you're really good at and really passionate about that you can be paid for. So there's so many different kinds of coaches in the world, in the industry, and all of the things. We have coaches like mindset coaches, manifestation coaches, motivation coaches, success coaches, relationship coaches, health coaches, fitness coaches, empowerment coaches, happiness coaches, disco coaches, positivity coaches, cycle coaches, like your period, like your cycle. Yeah. Business coaches, feminine coaches, spirituality coaches. We have people who incorporate coaching into their service-based business. So I have people who come to me who are social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists, people who are accountants and lawyers wanting to incorporate more mindfulness and mindset techniques into their coaching business as well. So literally, you can coach on anything. So when you think about the things that you can be paid for, that's going to be something that you really, really want to hone in on and focus on. Okay. So obviously, again, my career has evolved since my early days of resume writing. And from there, it went from resume writing to career coaching to side hustle coaching to kickstarting your coaching business. And then because I fell in love with all of the subconscious mindset techniques that I was learning all along the way, I eventually went and got certified as a master certified coach and a trainer and an NLP trainer, a life coach trainer. So that's how now I have this internationally accredited and board accredited certification. We're accredited by 3 different boards, and it's taken time to get here. And it's just been the natural progression because of how obsessed I am with what I do. And the last step here is what you want to think about is, what does the world need? So the whole idea behind this is obviously to identify the role for you that makes you feel like you're living your best life and like you're not working at all. But it's also about what keeps you super happy, super motivated, really inspired, but also gives you a purpose. So it's like thinking about what you want to be known for. So you have this unique magic, this unique sparkle inside of you. We all do. We all have that light inside of us. If we are observing someone and we see them as confident or inspiring or like an amazing role model, that means that you already have that within you, that characteristic within you, that you're able to see it within somebody else as the mirror. So if you want to think about like, what do you want your legacy to be, right? What do you want to be known for? Like, you are on this planet for a reason. Above all else, if you have been listening to my podcast for some time, or again, if you just stumbled upon it today, like, you're not here by chance, and you're meant for so much more than what you've been looking with. You're just meant for so much more, right? Like, coaches are really, really special people. And if you have that empathy and you have that within you to really, truly want to help people, then it is a natural next path for you. So When we identified our passions, our talents, what we can get paid for, now we really want to hone in on what you want to be known for. So maybe it's helping people in a very specific way, or maybe you have a set of experiences that make you so unique and you truly want to help others get through whatever that was that you were through. Maybe you're super into spiritual growth. Maybe you're really great at business and strategy. Maybe you're great with money and mindset or manifestation, or maybe you're really amazing at helping people see themselves at their highest potential, like I was. Remember this, as a coach, you can legit coach on whatever you're deeply desiring, and you can serve people in that way. So if you want to think about the type of problem you want to solve and what you want to be known for. And then the last thing that I want you to think about is the characteristics of the version of you who is already that like amazing coach who stands out. So who is that version of you? What are their characteristics? So common traits of successful coaches are maybe confidence. They give themselves permission to speak authentically. Maybe they love being visible. Maybe they're balanced. Maybe they practice gratitude. Maybe they have a great mindset. Maybe they have, open and transparent conversations. Maybe they show up all the time and they're super visible. Write out some of the great character traits that you want to embody as the coach. So last but not least, again, I can't say this enough. You can literally coach on anything. There are no rules. And guess what? If you decide to pivot, then you totally can. And like my whole career has been one big pivot. So I started as one type of coach, and then it's just morphed and evolved and changed as I've been growing and evolving. And the same is true for you too. So like, as long as you begin, you can start to identify if it feels aligned for you or not. But it is your absolute responsibility to take care of you, to show up from that space of abundance and love so that you're always in the right energy to serve yourself first and foremost, but then to also turn around and serve others as well. You'll know that you have found your niche or your zone of sparkle when you're finding flow in everything that you do, when you're taking it slow, when you're truly tapped into abundance, when you're cultivating really great habits, when you find yourself smiling a lot, when you find yourself giving a lot of thanks and gratitude, when you feel yourself staying present and grounded, and really just feeling like all the good vibes, because like when you're feeling this way, it is literally such a vibe. So this is a couple of the things that you can do to truly identify your coaching niche. I have a 3-day free challenge that you can register for below, and you can go ahead and learn a little bit more about the coaching space, how you can kickstart and elevate your coaching business. Additionally, if you are interested in the next steps of your coaching business, you can apply now. We are now enrolling for the next round of the Inner Beauty Bybel multimodality life and success coaching school. I am so proud of all of my students, all of our accomplishments, and all of the people that we can continue to support, and all of the clients that my coaches can continue to support through learning the actual tools to help people and to give value within their sessions. So always feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions regarding coaching, kickstarting your business, elevating your business, and how you can also build your coaching brand and start living the life beyond your wildest dreams and truly help others by giving back. So let's work together in this ripple effect, changing the lives of one client at a time. And always remember, you are you, and that is your superpower. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Let me know in the comments below, in the review section, what kind of coach are you going to be? What kind of coach did you decide to be? And I would love to hear from you. So take care, have a great day, and I will see you all here next week.